Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie, and I wanted to share with you guys my experience with God speaking to me. I've told my friends this story, but I haven't really shared it with a lot of people. I feel like God was telling me when I did get this dream not to really share it. And I was watching this video about this lady who had this near death experience, and she had said the specific thing in the video, and it really, in my heart, I felt like you need to share this story with the world. And this experience happened about a year ago, so I hope you guys enjoy and you get something from this. So God is real. God is definitely real, and every time I question if God is real, I remember this story. Not this story, but this situation that happened to me. So, um, I believe God speaks to people in dreams, especially me. I'm a very big dreamer. I used to lucid dream. I was actually in witchcraft, and demons would take over my body in dreams, and just a lot of stuff would happen to me in dreams. And I truly do believe that God speaks to us in dreams. So I was having a dream that represented, in my opinion, represents Revelation, when God comes back to separate all of us. I'll put Bible verses on the screen too, so I have like biblical um, backing up to back biblical like Bible verses to back me up, and also on my whiteboard I'll probably be like drawing stuff so you guys can see, and then putting it like on an overlay so you guys can see that. But yeah, time to start the story. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Please let me say the right words, God, please. Okay. So my dream started off where I was in a boarding school with boys and girls, and we were on this very nice coastal beach. So it was the school, it was grass, it was very beautiful green grass, and then it was the beach. And at this boarding school, we had a headmistress who was the principal, and in my dream, the headmistress represents Jesus, and the students at the boarding school, including myself, represent the people of the world. And the boarding school, it just represents the world and the earth we live on. So in this dream, everything was fine. Everyone was going to classes and being friends. And then all of a sudden, the headmistress comes, like, tells everyone to go to her randomly, and all of a sudden our outfits turn either into like a tannish tunic color, like we all started have tunics on, like all of a sudden all of our clothes turned into tunics, either like this creamy grayish color or a red color, and immediately everyone knows that we're getting separated, um like everyone just kind of knew, like all the reds have to go together and all the cream colored tunics have to go together. So the cream colored tunics, we just knew that the people that had the red tunics, they were moving, they were leaving the school, they were going somewhere else worse. And in my heart, when I saw the people with the red tunics, I knew something bad was going to happen to them. I knew something horrible was. And it feels weird to say, but when I saw the people with the red tunics, I kind of had a feeling like these people are going to hell. And I know it sounds weird, but in my dream, I remember thinking, these people are going to hell. I need to hug them and tell them they're loved. So the people who had red tunics, they're actually some people I know that go to my school, my daily life. And there's this one girl who I remember specifically in my dream going up to her, giving her a hug and telling her, I love you no matter what happens. I love you. I remember hugging her. And this girl's actually in my class. I probably should be praying for her more. But I remember like just hugging her and telling her, I love you. And then she left the building. And then my dream shifted to being outside of the school. And like I said, outside of the school, you walk out of the boarding school and you're on green, luscious grass. And then there's the sand, and then there's the ocean. And the sand got split in two. Like it was split into one side, there was luscious green grass, very clean, nice sand, and a beautiful ocean. And then on the other side, there was like grass that was so dead, and the sand was full of trash and stuff, and the ocean was just a dirty green color. It was like split in half. And the headmistress was outside, and she was pretty much telling, like, separating us. And she was like, okay, the people with the tan color tunic, you guys know what I'm saying. The tan colored clothes stay on the side, and the people with the red clothes, you go on the side. And everyone kind of like knew, like you felt it in your soul, like this is where you go and this is where you go. And I remember I was walking on the red, the side where all the red people with the red tunics were, and I was just looking at the grass and the ground, and I was like, it is so like dirty. It's so dirty over here. And I remember looking to the side, and all of a sudden these people on the red side, they start fighting each other, like getting knives and stabbing one another and screaming and yelling at one another. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And then I noticed that the people on the red side, they couldn't really go on the clean side where all the cream colored tunics were. I was the only one who was allowed to go on the red side to look at all this. Everyone else just stayed on their side. So I remember looking at the floor, and there's this line, and I cross over the line onto the cream tunic side because I had a cream colored tunic on. And I look back at the red side, and they're just all punching each other. They're all fighting, screaming, yelling. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. And I remember there was a girl who standing in front of me in the line, and right next to the line. She was right next to the line, and she was standing, and then all of a sudden I see her back, and from her back, her tunic just automatically, it just turns red. Like, you know how if water seeps into a paper towel, that's kind of how her tunic was. It just automatically like blood got soaked into the tunic, and then it all turned red. And that's when two like males from the red side, they put their hands over the line, and they grabbed her arms, and they pulled her over to the red side. They pulled her over, and they threw her to the ground. And it was bad. Like, some people started beating on her and stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I believe that the cream tunic turning red, I believe it's when people believe in Jesus, and then all of us not believe in Jesus. How do I word this correctly? But when people choose to go away from God, when they choose to have a relationship, but then all of a sudden they choose the world instead. They're like, oh, I don't want a relationship with you anymore, God. I want to choose the world. I think that's what it represents, the cream turning into the red, where you live for God and then you choose to live for the world. Because in the Bible it says you cannot serve two masters. Because there's a story I read how there was this man, and there was a field, and there was a gate put on the field, and the man, and God was like, you could choose my side, or you could choose the devil's side. And the man, he decided, oh, I'm going to sit on this fence. I'm going to sit on this fence and have one leg on God's side and one leg on the devil's side. And when the man died, the devil grabbed him and grabbed him. And the man's like, what do you mean? Like, you can't get me. I was one side on God's side. And in the story, I don't remember where I heard it, the devil was like, I'm the one who made the fence. Like, there was no fence. I'm the one who made the fence. You guys might not understand it, but I understand the story as, like, the man chose to live for the world, but also live for God. And at the end of the day, he was still living for the world. At the end of the day, he wasn't giving his all for God. So that's why the enemy took him, because, yeah. I don't know how to explain it the best. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm not good at explaining what's going on in my brain or how I feel and all that. But anyways, back to the story. So the lady gets pulled over, and she starts getting beaten on. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then there's a girl standing next to me far off. And all of a sudden her face pales up. And her tunic starts to turn red too. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, something bad is going to happen to her. Like, something really bad. And the people who were beating up the other girl, the one who had grabbed the girl, started beating up. I remember this guy looks at her, and he has like angry eyes. He looks at her, and he pulls out a gun. And the girl whose tunic is now red, she's on the cream colored side, but her tunic is red. He grabs the gun and he shoots her. And the girl, she obviously sees the gun, and when she sees it, she turns. But as she turns, she gets shot through. I remember seeing the bullet go through her ear into her brain, and her brain splatters everywhere. And it was that traumatized me in my dream. It did traumatize me. And I just remember these two cream colored tunic males. They grab the girl's body, the dead girl's body. They lift her very gently, and I remember they were praying for her. and then they set her in the water so her body could float away. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, like I just saw this girl's brains get splattered everywhere, and these two kind men they just gently pick her up and put her in the water. And I was like, that is so nice. But I also felt so sad for all the people on the red side. And in the Bible, it does tell us when the end days come that God is gonna like separate the weeds or something, like good people from bad people. And I think in my dream it was representing that. And I just remember once they put her in the water, I woke up and I was like crying, and I was like, God, what is this? What was that dream? I was so traumatized from seeing that girl's brains blow up, and I was like, I've never had a dream like this before. I was like, what is happening in my bed? Like, what the heck? And I knew I needed to take a shower, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a shower. And I kept thinking, like, what the heck is happening? Like, why did I have that dream? What was that dream about? I've never had a dream this vivid and feeling this surreal, like it means something. Like I knew that dream meant something. So I go in the shower, and I'm in the shower, and I'm like, God, what is happening? What is happening? Like, I was literally talking like, God, what is happening? Like, what was this dream? Like, I was stressing so bad. Sorry, guys. I was stressing so bad. And then all of a sudden, this boom, like I don't know how to explain it. I just have so much joy thinking about it. But this boom, this loud, authoritative voice, like it was a male voice, very deep. It was authoritative but strong. Like, I don't know how to explain it. This lady, like what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, the lady who I said she talks about God, she was talking about God spoke to her, right? And she said he had a loud, like authoritative voice. I'll put it on the side of the screen what exactly she said. But when she said that, I immediately thought I need to share my story about God speaking to me, because I just felt conviction. I was like, God wants me to share this story. But yeah, I felt his like loud authoritative voice boom in my head and said Deuteronomy 6:2. And when I say, like, I was like this and I heard the boom, and it was almost like the words were spelled in front of me, like Deuteronomy 6. And then in my head, I thought 2. Like, I thought 2 in my head. But God spoke to me in an actual voice, Deuteronomy 6. And I have never read Deuteronomy. Like, guys, seriously, before this point, I had never read Deuteronomy. I never studied what Deuteronomy was. I didn't know anything about Deuteronomy. Like, all I knew was, like, it was a book in the Bible. I never knew anything because I never read it. And the fact he was giving me Deuteronomy 6:2, I never read Deuteronomy. I don't know what it's about. And then I was like, whoa, I was like, what the heck just happened? I was like, God, was that you? Like, was that actually you? I was like, there's no way that was you, because you don't speak, like, I never heard anything about him physically speaking to people with words. Usually it's like thoughts and emotions and stuff, you know, like conviction or the Holy Spirit. And I was like, what the heck is this? Like, was this you, God? I was like, I was stressing out, guys. I was stressing that morning so bad. And then all of a sudden I had the feeling like, oh, wipe your nose. So I go and I wipe my nose, and I have a bloody nose. I have like, right after he says Deuteronomy 6:2, I go like this, and it's a bloody nose. Like, after I'm like, God, was that you? Like, was that you? I go like this, a bloody nose. And I was like, there's no way it's not God. Like, I literally just asked, God, is that you? I go like this, and there's a bloody nose. Like, I don't know. I felt like I don't know what the significance of that bloody nose was, but I felt like that there was a significance to me getting a bloody nose after him physically speaking to me, and then I'm saying, was that you? Like, I need you to tell me if that was you, and then there's a bloody nose, you know? Like, there's no way that is not him. Okay, and now I'm gonna get to Bible verse, because you guys are probably, sorry, that was just so I knew what page I was on in my Bible, but I know you guys are gonna be like, okay, he said Deuteronomy 6:2, what is Deuteronomy 6:2? Okay, guys, Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6, verse 2 says that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of my life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mighty, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thine soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Okay, anyways, he keeps going on. But literally, Deuteronomy 6:2, like, is literally talking about keep God's commandments and teach your children about it and keep it all the days of your life. And he literally says in 6:2, and thy days may be prolonged, talking about heaven. Like, I'm pretty sure it's talking about getting into heaven and stuff, like be prolonged, like eternal life with God, you know, or maybe it's talking about like when we're in this body, our lives will be prolonged. But literally, he's talking about tell your children about God, keep your relationship with God. Like, and I don't know why, but I feel like this really resonates with the dream I had when God is telling people, not telling us, but separating us. And then the people on the cream tunic side, how they start to turn, like, their tunics turn red, meaning that they chose the world. They had a relationship with God, but then they chose the world. And then all this bad stuff is happening. And I think the girl who got shot in the head, when her tunic turned red, because when she first saw the first girl's tunic get red, and then she got pulled over and started getting beaten on, I think what she saw was like, oh my gosh, this is happening to, like, to people who believe in God. I don't know if I really want to believe in God anymore. Like, what's the point of believing in him? Like, she was scared. She was like, is it really, in my mind, this is what she might have been thinking. Oh, is it really worth following God? I don't know. I don't know if I really believe in God anymore. And then all of a sudden she turns red because then she starts believing the stuff of the world. And then that's when she dies because I don't know. And then she dies. Oh my gosh. I still like vividly remember this dream, guys. Like vividly. Like I'll forget I had it. And then all of a sudden when I'm like, God, are you real? I immediately remember the dream out of nowhere. And it's like, I forgot about this dream. Now I'm remembering it. Like it almost feels like God hides that dream from me until certain occasions where he needs me to remember like this happened. And then I'm like, yeah. Because I'm going to share this dream with like my close family and close friends. Like I've literally shared it to maybe 2 friends and my mom and her fiance. Like I don't remember sharing it to anyone else. And that's crazy because usually I'm the type of person who talks a lot and shares everything with everyone. And the fact I haven't really shared this dream with that many people is crazy to me. Like God just keeps hiding it because he knew it was not the time. When the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. And another reason I think I should make this video today is because, thank you, Dad, for reminding me. I call God Dad because he's my Heavenly Father. But I just remembered that a little bit after I had this dream, I also had another dream where I was at my high school and I was crossing the street and all of a sudden the earth opened up and this demon came out of the earth and it was trying to grab onto me. But as it tried grabbing onto me, it could never grab a hold of me. This demon couldn't grab a hold of me. It could only grab a hold of all these other people. Like it literally was out of the earth and there's cars and everyone's screaming and it was grabbing people and it kept trying to grab me, but it couldn't grab me. It was like God was protecting me. And I remember just staring at this demon and just looking at it and it kept trying to grab me, but it could never grab me. And that kind of was like, I remember people telling me about the end days, how like there's going to be demons who are going to be coming out of the earth. And then, sorry, I keep rambling on, but literally last night, I had a dream where the world was ending, kind of like Revelation, where literally the earth was going to go in flames because the moon was going to crash into the earth. And I remember as the moon got closer to the earth, I haven't told anyone this except my friend Kaylee, but as the moon was coming closer to the earth, I could feel the atoms of my body like vibrating and leaving. In my dream last night, I felt my body dying. I literally felt it's really weird, you guys. I felt myself dying. And I remember just, don't cry, Natalie. I remember just being at a lot of peace. Like, this is the end. Like, I'm dying. Sorry. Like, I'm literally gonna die. Like, in my dream last night, I was like, this is it. Like, you're gonna go to heaven. It's okay. I could feel my body. The atoms in my body separating and myself dying, like my flesh getting torn apart. I could feel my body getting torn apart. And I see my mom. And I see her dying. She's right in front of me. And we're outside and I see her atoms separating and she's also dying. And then I look up at the sky and there's a whole bunch of these bright white lights like like this light, like this. You see this? It's like this, all a whole bunch of big ones in the sky. And then it, sorry guys. And then the light comes down and it grabs me. It grabs me and it pulls me into the sky, and I just see myself floating away from the earth. And then I look at the earth as the moon crashes into it, and then the earth just explodes. The earth explodes, and I'm in space with this white light. This white light is just holding me as I'm in space, and then all I see is the world get destroyed. And I don't know if my mom got picked up. And my mom's a strong Catholic, and I know she loves God. So I believe that's like in the Bible when it talks about like that we're gonna go to heaven when the earth, in Revelation, when the earth goes to poop, pretty much. We're gonna get picked up by angels or whatever. We're going to heaven. And I really do think my dream last night did represent like the end times, you know, like even my first dream where it was about the girl getting shot in the head. That dream, I think they're both talking about the end times. Like, I don't know if it's like a metaphor for it or like a simile, but it's almost like in a way showing what it's gonna be like, even though that's not like, I'm not saying like what's actually happening in the future, but God is showing me through like almost like visions of what's gonna happen in ways I understand. Like I was telling my friend Kayleen this morning when I was telling her the dream I had last night, I was telling her, I think his name is John the Apostle, or whoever wrote Revelation. God was showing him in images that he would understand, and I was telling my friend Kaylee, and it's almost like he's showing me in ways I will understand and stuff. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, the end times are coming, because God says we don't know the day or the time, but he is gonna give us signs. And I really do think last night God was giving me a sign that it is gonna happen soon. Maybe not soon, but it is coming. We are getting into that revelation time. And he's really just telling me I need to share this. And I don't know if anyone's gonna ever see this video, but I felt the Lord telling me I needed to share that and stuff. And God is real. He truly spoke to me. I believe with all my heart and soul that God is real, and he did speak to me that day that I was in the shower. I believe he did speak to me. I believe these dreams are in a way showing what is going to happen in the future. And especially last night I really thought I was going to die in my dream. I really felt that I was dying. Like I could feel my body splitting apart. Like I don't know how to explain it, when it feels like your atoms are getting torn apart, like your molecules are just splitting. Like I could see my atoms, like, you know, when it's sunny outside and you can see like the molecules in the air, like, I don't, or like the dust or whatever. That's how I felt. Like I could see my body separating, and it hurt, and I was in so much pain, and it was like vibrating, and I was in so much pain, and I just, the moon coming closer and closer, and then I just see this light, and it picks me up, and it's like brings me out of the earth, like the earth, and it brings me out of the earth, and I'm just staring in space as the earth just explodes into all these atoms. Like it just explodes into darkness. But yeah, that's what I felt the Lord telling me to share with you guys today about God is real. God is real. And he has shown me so many times he is real. And I just want you guys to know he loves you. He loves you. He's never left you. If you want a relationship with God, he is right there. He is always at that door. He is not going to continue knocking or banging on it, but he is going to wait patiently outside of the door for you to open it. He's not going to, we have free will. He's not just going to march into our life. He's not the God who we don't have to worship him. Yes, we were made to worship him, but we don't have to, because he gave us free will. Why would we ever want to force someone to love us? I would never want to force someone to love me. I would want someone to freefully love me, you know? And I think it's so special that God gave us the choice to choose to love him or not. I really do believe that Jesus died on the cross for me. I believe Jesus was a real person. I believe the things that happen in the Bible all happen, because there are things God has done in my life that I think, wow, this could have never happened. Like, this is not real. This is not real. But it is real, because God is real. And he could do all things, you guys. All things are possible through Christ. But yeah, thank you guys for watching today's video. I can't believe I cried on camera. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really do hope you guys continue to have a relationship with God. And if you don't, I truly pray that in the future or today, you'll choose to have a relationship with God, because He's always there. You could do a simple prayer like, for me personally, I didn't think God was real, and I just said, God, are you real? And He showed me. He showed me by conviction. He showed me by giving me thoughts about, oh, you should go do this. And then slowly it led me to Christ-like things. If you guys ever want to hear my testimony, if the comments are on, put that on, and I can show you guys my testimony, how I used to see demons. I was an atheist. I was in witchcraft. And God showed me He was real and how He got me out of all of that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. Until next time. Bye!